Hello, class. My name is Gina Carey, and I'm excited to introduce you to the world of insects. My theme is What is an Insect? Now, as we just ended the summer days, we had lazy days, we had pool parties, deep suntans, but of course, we encountered those insects. We love watching the grasshoppers jump through the grass or watching the butterflies flutter through the flowers. But we did not like getting stung by those black and yellow villains. But we quickly realized that insects are a part of our everyday life. Insects are the most plentiful animals on the planet. They have distinct features and they go through a metamorphosis. There are beautiful insects and of course there are not so lovely ones. Insects is a subject that every child should know because it's a part of their everyday life. Now I designed this thematic unit, What is an Insect, to give the second graders an idea of what an insect is and how it comes to be. We will have a science workstation to show the metamorphic of a butterfly, and a math workstation to carry the children on a journey with the insects. But the most impressive interactive bulletin board of insects will engage the children into the world of insects. I have my notebook, Welcome to the World of Insects, and this notebook just gives a synopsis of what the thematic unit is about. It has the whole thematic unit for the whole time period that I'm going to be doing the thematic unit. And it has it in detail, the introduction, how I'm going to conclude it, materials I'm going to use, teaks, all of that in here that I'm going to use for the thematic unit. This is the interactive science board, and it gives also a picture of the interactive science board, and it gives details and materials, and of course teaks that I will use for the interactive science board. The next one, of course, is the math science board. It does the same thing. It gives a description, it gives a picture, material I would use, and other things that math science board would be good for. Math science workstation, I'm sorry. And then the last one is the science workstation. And of course, the science workstation, it gives pictures and a description, materials, and it gives teach for the science workstation as well. And then at the very end, it has all the worksheets and materials that I'm going to use. Right, worksheets and materials that I'm going to use throughout the whole thematic unit in the back of this book. So this is a whole book of my thematic unit and how it's going to come about. Now, the first thing I would like to introduce you to is the interactive bulletin board. This interactive bulletin board was strategically made because of the fact I knew that children learn from left to right. They read from left to right. And I wanted to incorporate some reading teaks in here. So that's why I did this interactive science learning board. So I started out with what is an insect on this side. What the children are going to do is they're going to identify these 6 pictures if they're an insect or not. The pictures are termite, spider, ant, fly, ladybug, and worm. Let me give you a termite. What they'll do is they'll look at the picture and they'll determine by looking at the picture and reading the description of what an insect is if this is an insect. They'll have to count the legs, see if there's 6 legs, see if there's a head, a thorax, or an abdomen, see if there's antennas. Sometimes they may even have wings. Once they identify that and it does meet all those criteria, then of course it is an insect. And they turn the card over and it tells them, yes, it is an insect and why it's an insect. I strategically put 4 insects on here and 2 that were not insects. Spider was one of them. It's because I wanted to make sure that the children knew that insects only had 6 legs, not 8 legs. If a bug had 8 legs, it was not an insect. So they had to count the legs. And of course, they're going to determine the spider is not an insect because they have 8 legs, not 6 legs. And then I put the worm on here. Again, I wanted the children to see there is a criteria for insects. Worm doesn't meet any of them. It doesn't have 6 legs. It doesn't have a head, a thorax, or an abdomen. It doesn't have antennas. It doesn't even have wings. So they're going to determine that this is not an insect. And when they get with that, they're going to know exactly what an insect is and the criteria for the insect. And of course, the teaks for it is on the bottom. This middle right here, this is a butterfly life cycle. What I did is I took one particular insect and I did a life cycle on it, which is the butterfly life cycle. This incorporates reading teaks, and that's what I like about it, because they'll come up here and they'll read stage 1, and they'll read all about stage 1 and all about the egg. And then they'll lift this little card up, and there's a picture right there of the egg. on a leaf. And then they get to see it firsthand what it looks like. And then stage 2, of course, is the caterpillar, and everybody knows what a caterpillar looks like. Stage 3 is the pupa, and stage 4 is the adult butterfly, and they can see the adult butterfly. But they get to read about it, and then they get to visually see it on the picture. And in the very last one, discovering insects, what they'll do here is they'll take names from the bottom, like cricket, and then they put it on the cricket. They'll identify insects in their everyday life, so that when they get home, they can show their parents and be excited about the insect. Like, hey, Mom, I seen a grasshopper, because I know what a grasshopper looks like. Or I seen a fly, that's an insect. Butterfly, dragonfly. They'll identify these, and they know that these are insects. So I strategically did this to show the children what an insect is, one particular insect in their life cycle, and then insects in their everyday life. So when they get done, they'll have a basis of an insect in what an insect is. The next thing is the math workstation. The math workstation has an activity folder. And what they'll do is they'll grab this activity folder, and then they'll read on the activity folder how they're going to do this. This is the workstation about time. They're going to change digital time into an analog time and tell me if it's morning or afternoon. They're going to use this ladybug right here as a cheat sheet, the ladybug I made, which is an insect. They're going to use this as a cheat sheet. And of course, you see it does have increments of 5 on there, so it helps them with their multiplication. But this is what they're going to use as a cheat sheet when they go through and put their time in. But what they're going to do is they're going to, this worksheet right here, they're going to fill out this worksheet. After they pick a card, they're going to pick 3 cards. And these cards, as you can see, has the journey of an insect. Like the ladybug went to the grocery store to buy groceries. She left at 6:27 a.m. What they're going to do is take this digital time and they're going to put it on this analog clock. And they're going to tell me if she left in the morning or the evening time. And this worksheet is what's going to help assess if they understood time from digital to analog form or not. This is how I'm going to assess it by this worksheet. Then they're going to turn it in, and then they'll be done with the math workstation. Now the science workstation on this side, the science workstation. Now this is a very cute little workstation because it has a lot to do with reading ticks as well. So what I did is the activity folder. It has the instructions in the activity folder. This is an example of the KWL chart that they're going to fill out. They're going to take a KWL chart, and they're going to take The Very Hungry Caterpillar, which is the book. And they're going to read this book. After they get through reading this book, The Very Hungry Caterpillar, they're going to think about the metamorphosis of a butterfly. And then they're going to figure out what they know and what they want to know. Those are the only 2 I want filled out right now. When they get through filling out those 2 and at least 5, I'm going to encourage them to do at least 5. Then they're going to get their worksheets right here, this worksheet, and they're going to do a wheel just like this that has the metamorphosis of the butterfly, and it has all the stages in it. Stage 1, stage 2. They're going to color this, and they're going to make their own wheel so that they can take this wheel home with them, so they'll remember what metamorphosis of a butterfly is. When they get through with all that, and they get through with the worksheet, then they're going to fill out the last column, which what did I learn? After they have this completely filled out, then this is what I'm going to assess to see if they really understood what the life cycle of a butterfly is. Now this is my thematic unit. They went on a journey in math with the insects, and then there was impressive, engaging, interactive bulletin board for them to go through that had to do with insects. And then they're going to learn the life cycle of the butterfly, repetitive, because repetition for children is important for the science workstation. And with all this together, this thematic unit is going to be very effective to teach the children all they need to know about insects. Thank you.